I mean, Timmy was amazing, man. He was outside of LeBron, he's the greatest teammate I ever had. I mean, him and Bron are right there.
Welcome to What You Doing. I'm Ros Gold Onwude, and I'm here with Danny Green, two-time champion, a fellow New Yorker. What's up, Danny? What you doing?
What's up? I'm bored just like everybody else. As you can see, changing the hairstyle a little bit. Got 2 cuts in the eyebrows, trying to wild out.
Take off the hat, Danny. Let's see.
Oh, God. It's about time. I'm due for a change up. I'm about to take them out soon. They've been in for about a week or so. I had it a couple times, but just changing it up because it's getting bored.
So, Danny, let's get right to it. You trying to take my job?
Nah, not at all. Not at all. I'm trying to be your assistant. That's what I'm trying to be alongside you guys one day. Hopefully, get an opportunity to be able to do something. Stick around the games, the sports. I love sports. Even though when I'm home, I try to stay away from it so I'm not burnt out. But I love, watching and playing sports and talking sports. That's what we all do at home with our friends and family. Debates all day. So be able to stick around the game and talk about it is something when I'm done playing. It's hopefully something I'm looking forward to. Hopefully I could be the basketball version of Tony Romo.
I just want to congratulate you on your podcast you have, or your show you have, Inside the Green Room. I know your friend Marcus Sanford joins you on that. You guys are flourishing. You've had Roy Williams on, Jeremy Lin on, Meta World Peace on. So you kind of shared why you want to get into broadcasting, but there are so many basketball players and athletes and retired ones that are already in the game. Like, what do you think it is about your skill set that would make you stand out?
I don't know. That's a good question. It's something that I feel like I have to work on. I have a new respect for it. After going to Sportscast EU in Syracuse a couple of years ago, I learned a lot of behind the scenes with the media, with the radio, with TV. It's not easy. I think you have to bring out your personality and grab the attention of the viewer. For me, I think I have, just like those other guys, no different, but more of an insight to be able to play along certain people and play for certain organizations behind the scenes that the average fan or other players in the NBA don't have to be able to speak on certain things. So to have that perspective and that viewpoint and have that inside information, I think is interesting to most fans and most viewers.
So who do you think is really great at broadcasting?
This is just my opinion. These are people that I look up to that I like a lot. They might not be great in your opinion, but some of the people that I like and I respect their opinion, like Shannon Sharp, like Jalen Rose, even Skip and Stephen A. They're very good at grabbing your attention. Ryan Hollins, he was, during that time, I think he might have been in the Sportscast You with me, or during that time he went and he just, as soon as he finished, he came right out the gate of doing really well. So those are some of my top guys that are some of my favorites. And obviously, the reason why I went to school and got my communications degree and something I looked into was because of, the late Stuart Scott. He was somebody that I loved to watch. And so that was always a fallback plan for me since, even before going to college, because, basketball didn't work out. I had to have a backup plan. Mm-hmm. And, following a guy like that was something that I always, looked forward and looked up to.
One of the great tests for any broadcaster, if they reach that level, is an interview with your former coach, Greg Popovich.
Yeah, that's like the final stage. If you get there, you made it. Because if you get, Pop is like, you play a video game and you got to meet the last guy that you got to face. It's like he's for sure the toughest challenges for media people, and I feel bad for a lot of people that try to step to him.
Would you be intimidated?
If I didn't play for him, yes. Even playing for him, yes. Still, there's not a thing about Pop that doesn't intimidate. Now I see him even off the court. He's like grandpa. I love him to death. But when it comes to being on the court and coming to work, he's intense. Get your ass to work. You got some work to do. And I think I would have to be up the night before studying what 2 or 3 questions I would need to ask him.
What would be your keys to interviewing him?
I think he hates in-game questions because they point out the obvious, and he hates the obvious, and he's going to give you a sarcastic, obvious answer. But you need to ask the obvious question because the fans don't really know the obvious if they don't know basketball well. So that's why I would kind of stay up to give myself a gauge of what categories or where to stick around to make it not as obvious for him. Because he'll be like, what happened in that first quarter? And he'll be like, what the hell you think happens? It looks like we're getting our ass kicked, So We made shots they didn't. That's what happened. So,
well, Danny, you have won at every level. You've won at the NCAA with UNC.
I've been lucky.
You've been talented. You've certainly been blessed. You've won 2 NBA championships with the Spurs and then the Raptors. You're in contention right now with the Lakers. It's kind of crazy how like glory seems to follow you. And you've done a lot of winning. You've played with a lot of or played for future Hall of Famers, if not already Hall of Famers. And you've absorbed a lot. So what I like to do when I talk with people like this is just try to be a fly on the wall and take in some of the lessons that you've taken. What's the lessons, the keys you took from Pop?
Oh man, obviously Timmy Tony Mano followed his lead, but just how to be a professional in this NBA today and then at the time. Similar things that Coach Williams taught me, just in a different fashion. And he was a little more blunt, a little more different language than Coach Williams.
Like what?
But just his biggest thing for me was a sense of urgency, and always have that sense of urgency. Because, and always competitive. Somebody every day is trying to take your job. And he didn't have to necessarily say that, but the way he coached us, the way he coached each individual, and the way he was toward me was, you're never safe. Don't ever be comfortable. Do your job. Don't care how many threes you hit. You better play defense. You better do this. You better do the little things. That's what matters most. So
of everybody you've either been coached by or played with, like, who reminds you the most of MJ as you watch this doc? Who do you think of the most?
For sure, Pop. It has to be, because he doesn't care about your feelings. And said to be a Michael Jordan, you had to be mean. There's not many guys that had Kobe had it. There's not many guys that had it. Rondo, he's one of those guys, he doesn't care. He has it.
An example of a tough love situation Pop did to you during your career?
Well, there was one. There was a lot of times where we got into it, but there was one that I wouldn't say went viral, but people could see it. You can probably YouTube this and look this up. We were playing, I think, in Brooklyn, playing against the Nets, and I look at the bench. I mean, mind you, I had been playing a pretty solid game. I had a couple threes and playing good defense, and it was a close game. In a timeout, we were discussing, we might foul, we might not foul. We'll look over to the bench and see. I look over to the bench, I see, they were doing this. I thought I saw this, and I'm thinking foul. So I fouled the guy, and they were saying no foul, and he's like, "What the?" And you can see when I walk over to the bench, you can read his words. I'm not gonna say him here, but you can read his words, and they weren't very pleasant.
Give me a quick key what you take away from playing with Tim Duncan, who is already inducted into the Hall of Fame officially.
Yeah, Timmy was amazing, man. He was outside of LeBron, he's the greatest teammate I ever had. Him and Bron are right there. I have fun playing with Bron, don't get me wrong. And it's just two different types of players. With him, Bron has the ball more, so he's going to score more, and he facilitates the actions. Timmy was more of I'm going to set screens for you, I'm going to rebound for you, I'm going to find you. And he always, if he got a rebound, he'd kick out and find you, and he was they're both very encouraging. But Timmy, underrated passer, underrated defender. So he always helped me a ton on defense. I could always guard guys a little bit tougher on the perimeter because I knew I had Timmy behind me, who was going to make me look good or make sure that I didn't get scored on. We didn't get scored on. And as a big, if you cut, he was going to find you. Or if you ran the floor. Bron has great vision too, but so he's more pick and roll in the action. Timmy was just trying to find guys, and because you just don't realize that he's the greatest power forward of all time, because the way he played that way, he played like he was a role player and was just trying to get guys open and just trying to get the ball to guys. He didn't care who got the credit. He just wanted to win games. And whatever it took to do that, if you found the hot hand, it could have been the 12th guy on the bench. They were hot. He's going to find that guy, and he's going to set screens for him. He's going to do everything he can for that guy to continue to get open.
Mm-hmm. And so you compared Timmy to LeBron throughout this. And you mentioned he's one of the top 2 teammates you've ever had.
Him and Timmy, because they're the greatest at what they do, damn near ever in their position. And they don't act, they're very humble. They're just so humble, and they're just so encouraging and love playing with their teammates. They love being around their teammates. They love, having fun with their teammates. It's not all about them. Playing, you're like, this guy's a big ass kid. So he has a lot of fun. He'll be in the locker room making jokes or listening to music. And, even on the court, he'll make some jokes. And during the game, he's having fun. Whether we're making mistakes or not, he's going to make a joke, and he's not going to make you feel bad about it. Obviously, in certain times, crunch times, we got to get on our P's and Q's, get on your, but a lot of times he's having fun and he's encouraging you, and he just said he doesn't really care about getting the credit. He just wants to win, and at the same time he wants to have fun. He's a big kid. He likes playing games.
Every What You Doing ends with a challenge.
Okay.
So I have a challenge for you. It seems the league is going to seriously consider a campus environment or a bubble environment, if you will, to continue the season if they're able to. So that's the inspiration for our challenge today.
Okay.
I'm giving you the bubble challenge. We're going to pretend that the NBA decided to continue play in a bubble. Resources are limited, and you guys are confined in this little bubble basketball society.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. You can only bring your parents' girlfriend or a friend. Which one?
For me, I'm going to bring a girlfriend. And I think most guys would answer that, girlfriend or wife. If they didn't, they'd be a lot of trouble at home.
Exactly.
It's the smart answer.
You're allowed to bring one professional with you. Barber, cut your hair, a chef, or a massage therapist.
Massage therapist. That's definitely, for me, that's important to me. Body, my hair, sometimes I really don't care what it looks like. Obviously I love food, but at this point I could eat anything that's around. My taste buds are kind of fading over time, even though I enjoy a good meal. But I think most importantly for performance, for me, I would definitely need a massage therapist. I think most guys would choose the same, but some guys like to look better. You know, some guys.
A lot of guys would choose a barber.
I think it all depends on your role in the team as well. How many minutes you're playing.
You're trying to pack light, and you can only bring 3 pairs of sneakers. Which kicks are you putting in that bag?
Now, does this include my playing sneakers? Because usually the equipment guy brings our playing equipment.
They'll take care of the playing sneakers. This is for fashion.
Okay.
This is for walking around.
Obviously, I got my different styles of Puma walk-arounds. RXS, those are some of my favorites. I don't see me doing any shot like nightclub going out sneakers, so I'll probably be in the house all day. Mostly I'll probably bring a pair of slides, flip-flops, whatever, to be comfortable, or slippers, and 2 pair of my favorite walk around Puma comfortable, probably colors that can go with anything, black or white, or just neutral colors, but my comfortable RXS's, Pumas.
You're in this NBA bubble, and media is limited to one broadcasting group for all games. Who is that dream broadcasting group? It has to be a play-by-play, an analyst, and I'll throw in a sideline reporter.
Oh man, I'm gonna have you over there.
Hey,
yeah, I'm gonna have you over there. Play-by-play. Is Mike Breen a good? Is that okay to have Mike Breen on there?
You're looking at Mike Breen. You're looking at Marv Albert. There's so many legendary.
Mike Breen. That's my guy.
Dang.
My guy. Man, and what was the other category?
And an analyst. Who is your analyst for this broadcast group that's going to do all the games in the bubble?
Can I pick a group of guys? Can I get the TNT guys? Can I get the TNT guys?
Oh, like the Inside the NBA show?
Yeah, can I get those guys?
Only one entertainer can join the group of people in this bubble NBA society. So, who's going to do all the halftime performances?
Ooh. Man. Can I do one female, one male?
Yep.
Great. I think the best performer Beyonce has to be.
Nice.
If not her, then it's like J-Lo and Shakira. Those are the best performers. But I'm gonna have to go with Beyonce. And on the male side, you could have her husband Jay-Z, which would be great. But male performers, I'm gonna have to go with which I haven't got a chance to see. Have I got a chance to see them up close? I'm gonna have to go with Justin Timberlake or an Usher.
Okay.
Maybe those two guys.
All right. Last question about the bubble for the NBA bubble challenge here. Who's one teammate on the Lakers you would like to be quarantined with?
Oh man, that's a good question. There's a lot of guys. We have a crew of characters, so there's a lot of pretty good options. One that comes to mind. Jared Dudley.
Why?
He's just funny as hell, man, and he has a great insight. on life, on everything. You know, he's good at talking sports and debating, and he's hilarious. He's ultimate comedian. But if it wasn't duds, I say he's just all around funny, and he knows how to have a good time on and off the court. He has a great time. If it wasn't duds, then it'd probably have to be Bron.
I hope, you guys have the chance to stay as safe as possible and perhaps salvage the season somehow. Thank you for taking the bubble challenge with us. And Danny.
Anytime. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.